you live in a dream world or in the world that exists? The answer shapes everything you love, fear, and become. Imagine two people standing at the same cliff, watching the same sunrise. One sees endless horizons. The other counts the cracks in the rock. Their worlds are identical, except for the lens they wear. This is not a personality quirk. It is philosophy in action. Idealism and realism shaping what becomes real. When the market collapses, the idealist writes a plan. The realist locks the door. Both respond. Only one changes trajectory. To understand why, we trace two ancient maps. Marcus Aurelius taught a prince to look inward and choose his judgments. Carl Jung explored the underground of the self and named the parts we deny. Daniel Kahneman showed we run on autopilot until we notice. Each offers a tool: judgment, integration, and awareness. The question is not theory but consequence. Which lens makes you act, and which keeps you stuck? If ideology blinds you, you risk neglecting reality. If realism hardens you, you miss possibility. Meet Maya, an idealist teacher, and Sam, a realist engineer. They both lose their jobs in the same company layoff. Maya writes a manifesto and starts a free school in a cafe. Sam applies to the same jobs he already knows are scarce. At first, their lives split cleanly. The idealist buzzed with meaning. The realist secured temporary safety. 3 months later, Maya faces empty rooms and bills. Her manifesto meets resistance. Sam is hired again, but he notices a hollow where curiosity used to live. Marcus would tell Maya to distinguish what she controls, the quality of her teaching from what she does not, the economy. That shift lets purpose survive scarcity. Jung would ask Sam to meet the part of himself that avoided risk and call it by name. Naming softens it. Integration turns a defensive avoidance into a wise calibration. Kahneman would show both that availability and confirmation biases make memories louder than probabilities. The detective of truth asks for evidence, not stories. Maya learns to pair her manifesto with small experiments. One evening class, measurable outcomes, feedback loops. Her school becomes data, not dogma. Sam learns to schedule curiosity like a meeting. 2 hours a week to explore ideas without immediate profit. When he names his fear of risk, it loses its veto power. A year later, Maya runs a sustainable micro school with measurable impact. Sam leads a team that builds experiments into product strategy. Both reframed reality. Maya made possibility testable. Sam made safety porous to curiosity. The deeper truth is this: reality is not given. It is perceived and then acted upon. Idealism supplies aims. Realism supplies checks. Together they become a compass, not a prison. 3 practices change the lens. Name your judgments. Run a small experiment. Map your blind spots. Start small. Write one hypothesis about your life and test it for 30 days. Ask, what do I control? What do I accept? And what am I avoiding naming? Return to the cliff. The sun is the same, but now you adjust the lens, not deny the light. Choosing both daring and discipline remakes what counts as real. That is the ethical act of seeing. Refusing false comfort and paralyzing cynicism in equal measure. It makes you not just a receiver of reality, but its co-author. So which lens will you choose? Try this now. Close your eyes and feel where your body tightens when you imagine failure. Label the sensation. Anxiety, ache, tightening. Then breathe into it for 60 seconds. That small act shifts you from story to data. A muscle response rather than a verdict. Next week, pick one desire and reduce it to a measurable bet. How many people will show up? What will you build? What will you learn? Record outcomes without moral meaning. Facts first. Interpretations later. Finally, create a shadow journal. Once a week, write the thought you most resist and ask, who would I be if I owned this? You will find both clumsy bravery and quiet wisdom living in the same entry. The old dichotomy, idealism versus realism, collapses when you learn to carry both as tools. When you test your hopes with discipline, you honor possibility. When you temper certainty with courage, you honor truth. The world reshapes around those who act from a married gaze, tender where needed, clear where required, and always ready to remake the map. Choose the lenses, become the mapmaker. Subscribe for weekly stories that change how you see yourself and the world, where ancient wisdom meets modern psychology through unforgettable narratives.